Hey, what's up, YouTube? I'm sorry I have not uploaded in a while. Um, so before anything, I just want to say please subscribe to my channel, like this video. I'm gonna be doing my makeup while chit-chatting and talking about some serious, important things that I don't think is really talked about much. And if you hear my son in the background crying, he's fine. He's in the room with his brother. He's watching his little stuff, and you already know how kids are. So I'm just going to jump right into it. Before I do that, I want to give a disclaimer that I'm not in no way, shape, or form bashing any company, anybody, nothing of that sort. I will be talking about my experience and my experience only. So that being said, I'm just going to start and jump right in. Another thing, I do not edit my videos. So I'm just gonna go straight in. Okay. So I'm not gonna be saying what I'm putting on my face. I'll probably put that in the description box because I just want to chit chat, get right to it, and that's that. Okay, so I'm just gonna say I'm using the CoverGirl Matte Made foundation, Holy Grail. This one and the LA Colors Truly Matte. This one right here, I could have a full face beat, right? And if I go in the sun and it's really hot, I'm sweating, you know how sometimes your makeup breaks up or it comes off in certain parts of your face, I could reapply this all day long and it would not look cakey. It would not look, it's just the best. So I'm gonna mix these two today. And this is what it looks like. It doesn't have the top, but it comes with a top. So yeah, I'll put everything in the description box down below. So I'm gonna just start. My youngest child, my oldest child is 10, my middle child is 8, and my youngest is just turned 2 August 9th. Okay, so a year after me giving birth to my youngest child, I decided I wanted to get on birth control, but something that I know is gonna work, something that I know I don't have to take Plan B pills, you know, or anything of that sort. And another thing, if you're against abortions, if you're against birth control, please just click out the video. I do not want to hear none of that stuff. You do what you do and I do what I do, okay? So yeah, like a year or so after giving birth to my son, I'll say right before he turned a year old, I decided to go on the Mirena I.U.D. That is the thing that they implant inside of you. There's two of them. There's the Mirena and there's another one. I don't know the other one. The Mirena is the one with hormones, so it's the plastic one. And the other one does not have hormones and it's metal. So I decided to go with the one with hormones and the plastic one because I just felt like it'll be more comfortable for me, it'll be more comfortable for my partner. And yeah, so another thing, I don't do too well with extra hormones. I had gotten the Depo shot many years ago. I didn't do well on that. I lost a massive amount of weight. I felt depressed a lot, and also I bled for like a long time, like 4 months. They had to actually give me birth control to stop the bleeding. That's how bad it was at that point. So I was like, you know what, let me give the IUD a try. Most of my mom's friends would talk about it. You know, a lot of people was talking about it. You know, I haven't heard that much bad stuff, so let me give it a try. Now, the Mirena IUD is not the problem, okay? It is, but it's not. Okay, so I got it put in immediately after I noticed I had like bleeding, like a lot of bleeding. I actually had to go back into the emergency room where they ran some tests, and it was like, okay, it's probably just because your body, you know, has to get immune to it. That happens sometimes. You could bleed up to 6 months on and off or whatnot, but at this point I was bleeding non-stop, like it wasn't stopping. And I'm the type of person, I like to give things at least 6 months or so, especially birth control, to see if it may work for me or may not. So After a while, I stopped bleeding, but I noticed I would get like really, really sharp cramps. I would feel really like heavy. My stomach would feel really like uncomfortable. Not even my stomach, more so my lower area. Um, it was really painful during intercourse. Even not only for me but for my partner. He would say, look, I could feel it, you know, I could feel the strings, whatever. So I go back to the doctor and I'm like, listen, this is what's happening, that's what's happening, whatever. So they was like, we can cut the strings, no problem, but whatever. Time passes by. I'm going in and out of the hospital. Like within 1 year, I probably was in the hospital about 8 times. Okay. Having really bad stomach pains, and just like it felt really bad, like really awful. So I started noticing that my stomach started getting like bulge. Like if I'm, you know, those people that drink a lot of beer and you could tell because it just weighs on their stomach, or I look pregnant. Like a lot of people would be like, oh, how many months are you? At first I didn't pick up on it because I thought I was just gaining weight, you know, because you do gain weight from some birth controls. So I didn't pick up on it right away. So then a lot of people was like, oh, how many months are you? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm not pregnant, like, you know. So it was like, oh, I'm sorry, you look pregnant. I'm like, no, I'm not pregnant. So that started bothering me, you know. I noticed after a while my stomach did start getting big and it started forming into like, you know, like I look pregnant. So I went to the doctor. I'm like, I want to check to see if I'm pregnant. I bought a bunch of home birth pregnancy tests, a bunch of home pregnancy tests to check to make sure that I'm not pregnant, because there is a small chance that you can get pregnant on birth control. So nope, I'm not pregnant. So I'm like, what the heck is going on? Why is my stomach looking so big? And I will show you in this video how big my stomach is now at this point. So now we're going to fast forward a long time from then. I had a lot going on, so I didn't go back and forth to the doctor like I should have. So I'll say 3-4 months ago, I went back to my primary care doctor. They send me for ultrasounds. They send me for x-rays, all that. So I'm at this point, I'm not even thinking about the IUD, okay? I'm thinking it's fibroids, because yes, I do have fibroids. I have 2 small fibroids, but I'm thinking it has to be the fibroids. I did my research, like fibroids do make you look pregnant, you know. It causes you to have heavy bleedings, cramping. All of the signs was pointing towards fibroids. So I went back to my primary care doctor, who ended up already getting the results back. So she's like, you need to sit down, we need to talk. Don't forget to blend out your neck, ladies, that foundation. You do not want to have a line of foundation here and just have it empty there. It just does not look good. And by your ears. So she's like, okay, and this day I had my kids with me, my 2 oldest kids, my 10-year-old and my 8-year-old. So she's like, it's not the fibroids. You do have fibroids, but they're really small. Your uterus is enlarged. And I'm like, enlarged? What do you mean enlarged? That normally happens when you're pregnant. So she's like, or when you're getting your period, but it doesn't get as big as my uterus. But so she's like, yeah, you have the uterus of a size of a woman that is 7 months. Your uterus is the size of a woman who is 7 months pregnant, 6 to 7 months pregnant. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, that's why your stomach is so big. That's why it's like really, you look formed like if you're pregnant. I'm concerned. So I'm like, I was lost of words. And she's like, this could be from the fibroids, but I'm really sure that it's not, because the fibroids are really small, like literally small. So I'm like, what the heck is going on? So she's like, we're going to send you for more work. At this point, I'm like, you know what? F this. I'm not going to another third person. I'm going straight to New York Presbyterian Hospital, where they really specialize in a lot of things, not just GYN. So I just noticed I was blending for like longer than I should have. I know you ladies out there are cringing. And I already applied my primer just in case. So, I schedule an appointment, which they scheduled me for a really, really far date, like months. And I was like, I cannot wait. My mother-in-law was like, go to the emergency department. They will have no choice but to see you sooner. I do that. Oh, not to mention, forgot to mention, this is a big, big thing. My primary care doctor also said that in the report, it came back that my IUD was really, really low to the point that it was about to come out, that maybe she should pull it out and put a new one. So I'm like, sure, please do that. I do not want to get pregnant. I definitely do not want to get pregnant right now. Let's try that. So I lay down on the bed. She tried for like about 20 minutes to pull my IUD out. It would not budge. Like, I mean, it would not move at all. It was like completely jammed in there, and it hurts so bad. So I'm like, ow, ow, it hurts. Like, she's like, this is not heard of, but this is very rare. It's not coming out. Like, it's right there, but it's not coming out. It's really, really low to the point that you can pull it out, but it's not coming out. Like, it's not moving. So I'm like, oh, I'm scared now. Like, at this point, I'm like crying. I call my boyfriend. I'm like, babe, blah, 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 blah. Call my mom. I'm crying. I'm like really annoyed and really scared. So I then go to the emergency room like about a few days later, and they also, because my doctor calmed me down. She's like, calm down. Maybe we could send you to the specialist that specializes in GYN, because my primary care doctor is not specifically a GYN doctor. She's just a doctor, period. So she does not specialize in this. So she's like, I'm going to send you to see a specialist. So I call another specialist on my own, and they scheduled that appointment. So then I was like, it's too far along. Let me go to the emergency room. My mother-in-law told me to do that. Shout outs to her. So I go to the emergency room. I'm thinking they have instruments that they can use to take this thing out, right? Like my doctor told me. So I go, they're like, the doctor sees me. She then tries, this is the second attempt, different doctor, different facility, tries to pull out the IUD. It's not budging. Not budging. She was there longer than the first doctor. It was not coming out. She actually tried with another object, not coming out. And she's like, it's not that you're not opened enough, not sounding nasty, but it's not like it's not, you know, it's something wrong. Like, something's wrong here. So I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? I start crying again. She's like, okay, we're gonna have to surgically remove this. This is not good. Blase, blase. Once again, it's not the Mirena I.U.D. itself. It's the people that inserted it in, didn't put it in right, okay? Which I got mine's done in Planned Parenthood. So, she ended up scheduling me for a sooner appointment, which was for the next day. So I'm like, great. I go in to the GYN office in the same hospital. We sit down, we talking, telling them everything that's going on. They said my case is very bizarre, very weird, especially the fact that my uterus is enlarged. So I lay down on the table. She's like, I'm gonna try myself. Now this is the third attempt, okay? Different doctor, sorry about that, who tried to pull out the IUD. Was not coming out, and also was with her for about 20-25 minutes. She specializes in this, and she could not get the IUD out at all. It was not even budging, you guys. So I'm completely done with it. I'm like, that's it. You guys have to do whatever you have to do to get this out. It's going to cause me to have a bacteria infection, a yeast infection, you know, because it's so low, and it's just, it's nasty. So she's like, yes, we're going to have to surgically remove this. So at this point, I'm like, how do you surgically remove it? She's like, it's kind of difficult, but she just went all around in circles, so I'm just going to get straight to the point. Basically, I have to get a hysterectomy. So that means they have to remove my uterus, and I will not be able to have any more children. And I also felt like that was the best option. There was other options that she was offering, but I felt like that was the best option because the other ones was like kind of more dangerous to do, so I was not with it, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, no, I just want to get the hysterectomy. Schedule me for the consultation. Like, we spoke for a long time, and we talked about my options, and the options was not good options. So she's like, you sure? I'm like, yes, I'm sure. I already have 3 kids. I'm 29. Yes, I am very young, you know, but I already kind of did not want to have more kids. But later on in life, I probably would have decided to, you know what I'm saying, because I am still young. And just in case my partner decides he wants to have more kids, I would not be able to give that to him. So I spoke to him about it. I made sure to speak to him about it before actually making that choice. And he said, whatever you feel is best for you, that's what you need to do. So I'm like, okay, I feel like this is the best choice. Because at this point, I have 2 fibroids. My uterus is enlarged, okay? And I'm sure that my uterus was already enlarged somewhat because of the fibroids, but also because of the IUD being jammed in there, stuck to something, and it cannot come out. And I didn't want to risk, you know, getting my bladder injured or anything happening with them trying to surgically remove it. So I was like, just take the entire uterus out. Now they're gonna leave my ovaries, but I have to get a hysterectomy. And that's all because of the IUD being put in the wrong way by Planned Parenthood. That's why that whole time that I had it put in, I was in so much pain. And legit, I have paperwork, I have proof, I have evidence backing me up. Okay, I even have paperwork saying difficult IUD removal needs more intensive care or whatnot. So all that time that I had to go to the emergency room, and it was in severe pain that I couldn't talk, you know, to the point that I couldn't breathe barely, you know, all this was pointing, the gaining weight, all of that, like looking pregnant, like all of that was pointing because of the IUD was put in wrong. Now, that's not the only things that I have wrong with me. Right now, at this point, I have water weight, because when the doctor explained to me, when you have an organ that's not being properly, you know, functioning properly, what happens is your muscles tend to build up water weight. Like, it builds up water, so you start gaining weight, but it's not necessarily weight, it's just water weight. So because I don't really eat much, and when I do, I don't eat like, you know, like I should be the weight that I am. And I'm not afraid to disclose how much I weigh, because my natural weight, I'm 5'9", is 130 pounds, 140 pounds the most. That's all I weighed in my entire life. Only time I went above that is when I was pregnant, the 3 times I was pregnant. So, I'm sweating. So, right now, I'm literally like almost 200 pounds, okay? I'm 195. And I gained so much weight within shorter period of time because of this situation that I have going on. So there's times where I could be laying in bed for like 10 minutes, and being 29, young like me, I should not be having these problems, but I get up and it's like my feet are so, they feel so heavy to the point that I get Charlie horses when I go to walk away. Like when I go to walk, it's like so intense. When I sit in the car for too long, it's like no other. Anything I do is like I'm not a person. It's like I'm a machine or something, and I'm not working right. It's just unbelievable. I cannot believe, you know, what I'm going through, and how calm I am with the things that I'm going through. I'm going through so much, and it's like it's affecting me, but it's not. Like, I'm trying to look at it in a brighter light. Like, so September 13th is my surgery day. That's when I will be going to get the hysterectomy. September 7th, I will be going in for my last consultation, last blood work, talk to the anesthesiologist and all of that stuff, and it's final. September 13th is the day that I will no longer have a uterus. Okay, now they are leaving my ovaries, which I'm pretty happy about. But yeah, so I would say that Planned Parenthood took that away from me, you know, to not have the choice if I want to be a mom again. Because even if I decide, okay, no, don't take out my uterus, it will still later down the line cause me lots of pain, And what's the point? Like, if later down the line, most likely I will have to get a hysterectomy anyway, why would I want to have surgery 2 times? You understand? And then with fibroids also, they tend to grow back, and I had 2 of them already. So, and they only get bigger and bigger and bigger by the time, and they grow quite fast. So that being said, I will be getting a hysterectomy, and you know, shout outs to those women out there that, you know, had it done, or and not able to ever have children, because I think that if I didn't have any kids and I had to do this, I would be so depressed. It wouldn't even be funny. Like, I would be so depressed. But because I already had the joy of having children, and you know, I'm still raising them, I'm not looking at it in that light. You know what I'm saying? But I do think, like, damn, what if my boyfriend does later on want to have more kids? I'm not able to provide that for him. And that's something that is in the back of my mind, because even though he's not, you know, speaking about that and not even saying that, it's still something that's bothering me, because I will not be able to provide that for him. So that's what has been going on for the last few months, you guys. I am in therapy every other week. I was going weekly, but because I have so much appointments and so much going on, I decided to schedule it for every other week. And it gives me more stuff to talk about with my therapist, because if I see her every week, it's like, we just spoke last week, there's nothing really going on within a short amount of time. So yeah, it works better for me. So I'm blessed that I am in therapy and able to voice my feelings and speaking to a professional about what I have going on. You know, someone that doesn't personally know me can give me constructive criticism, and also can give me her take on what she thinks. You know what I'm saying? And she always makes sure to make me feel like I'm a positive person. Any choices I make, she makes sure that to let me know that, you know, I'm strong, because trust me, I have so much going on, and within the last few years I had so much going on, and it's like when I see her I still smile, and she's like, that really like touches her, because it's like, wow, that's crazy, that's incredible how you can still find light at the end of the tunnel, you know. And it's like, she's amazing, my therapist, honestly, and I really feel like I'm glad I have her. I'm glad I have, of course, my mother-in-law, because she's like my main support system at this current time. She helps me so much with my youngest. He's 2, he just turned 2, and although he doesn't have terrible tooth problems, he's still a very active young boy. And you know, she's older, but she's still young, because she still drives. She still does things that people in their 50s and 40s don't even do, okay? So, you know, I'm really thankful to have her too. I'm thankful to have my boyfriend, because he takes on so much for me, with me. He's just an incredible person. Even though, you know, we might have our ups and downs, he's still, no matter what, we can have an argument, I'll be like, babe, I need $10 or $20 or whatever. If I need anything, he will still come through, and that takes a real man to be that way, you understand? So I love him, and I love my mother-in-law. Shout out to my mom as well, for she been supporting me. She been my main support system for years, for my entire life, you know, and her, you know, encouraging me that what I'm doing is the right thing to do, you know. Worry about the other stuff later and just focus on what's important now. And that's something that I've been really thinking about, you know. Like, I'm not going to think about, oh, but then what if he wants to, I'm going to think about, Tiffany, what is best for you at this time, you know. And what's best for me is that I do the right thing for myself and for my kids, and to make sure that I'm here, you know, as many years as I can be, healthy and happy, and not in and out of the hospital. You know, because like I said, over the last few years, I've been in and out of the hospital from abdominal pain and not knowing what the heck is wrong with me and throwing up and so sick to the point that I'm like feeling like I'm dying, you know. And now I actually got to the bottom line. Like, legit, I had x-rays, I had ultrasounds, I had so much done. I even drunk that nasty stuff, that contrast, so they can look deep into your organs to see if anything else is going on, and nothing else. That's is really pointing to this. So, you know, I'm just, it's really hard for me to keep a smile, and you know, I'm not faking it or anything like that, but it's hard for me to keep a smile, especially with all the stuff that I have going on. Okay, let me serve myself something to drink, and let me turn the fan towards me because I'm burning up right now. I'm gonna pause this video. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I'm gonna get straight into it with the eyes, and this came in my BoxyCharm. Beautiful colors. BoxyCharm, if you guys don't know, is a $21 a month subscription where you get 4 to 5, occasionally 6 makeup products. And I also got the Laura Lee palette in my other BoxyCharm, which is amazing. So yeah, I'm waiting for next month's BoxyCharm to come in, and I just cannot wait. So yeah, so like I was saying, so I have to get the hysterectomy, and the reason why I say have to is because it's the best option for me. As I said before, if you guys are against in any way possible, you know, stuff like that, then keep your comments to yourself. Please respect my decision, or just don't say anything at all. Just exit out the video, and yeah. So that's what that's my life update, you guys. And if you guys are also interested in BoxyCharm, I can also leave the link for that down in the description box, and you guys can click on that link and go from there. So honestly, I'm also subscribed to Ipsy, and Ipsy is one of my also favorite subscriptions, monthly subscriptions, because you really get the bang for your buck. And also, really quickly, before I go into Ipsy, BoxyCharm, you get over $100 or over $100 worth of makeup products. I also got a Smashbox lipstick in one of my BoxyCharm boxes, which is amazing. I got a bunch of stuff, honestly. And you only paying $21 a month. So they got different payment methods, but the main subscription is $21 a month. They got other subscriptions, like I think they have a $100 one-time payment for a year or something like that. I don't know, but or 6 months or something like that. But I'm getting the $21 a month subscription, and I so far been so happy. And also, if you're a makeup person, or even a makeup at your beginning stages of makeup, this is the best way to build your collection, because you get brands that you never heard of, or brands that you may not want to spend the money on, even though you're spending the money, but you're not actually spending the money on one specific item for $20, because the Smashbox lipsticks, I believe, are about $20. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, so you're paying $21 a month for that, and you're getting 4 to 5, occasionally 6 makeup products. That's including brushes, that's including eyeshadow palettes, that's including nail polish stuff. They have different stuff. Like, it's amazing. Like, honestly, that's my #1 favorite subscription. My second favorite is Ipsy, which is $10 a month. You get 4 to 5, occasionally 6, the same thing, makeup products. But this one, you tend to get samples. With BoxyCharm, you get samples, but most of the time you're getting full-size products. You do sometimes get full-size products with Ipsy, but majority of the time you get samples. And I'm not talking about little cheap bullcrap samples. Like, you get nice size samples with Ipsy. You also get lipsticks, makeup palettes, brushes, different stuff. So yeah, I also got a pair of lashes, and one of my other BoxyCharm unboxes. So yeah, I really enjoy it. I love when it's that time of the month. Sometimes it comes late, sometimes it comes early. Whatever. I'm just happy I'm getting my box. I just love when the mailman rings the bell and he's like, I got a package for you, and it's just like, you don't know really what you're getting, but you kind of know, because you could, you know, you could peek and look and see what you're getting, or you could watch other videos on it. But I tend to just want to wait and just see what I get rather than peeking. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm sorry about the lighting, you guys. This month definitely I will be the lighting will be improved. I also have a new camera. Shout out to my boyfriend. He made that possible. He bought a camera, and yeah, I'm not using my professional camera right now. I'm actually using my phone camera, which is what I started out using in the beginning. But I normally will record my videos early, so that way the video will be more better. But yeah, I just wanted to pick up the camera and record and talk to you guys and let you guys know what I have been going on in my life and the seriousness of this, because I just want to make aware that, you know, I'm also not gonna sit here and talk bad about Planned Parenthood, because I know that they do a lot for people. But that particular person that installed my IUD was very careless, and I'm really like hurt by her actions. So yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and bad talk Planned Parenthood, because they have done good for some people, you know what I'm saying? So, and for the community. So yeah. So yeah, so that's just gonna, I'm just gonna end off on saying, as far as talking about that, ladies, if you have any issue, like if you have an abdominal pain, make sure y'all go see a specialist opposed to going back and forth to the emergency room, because the emergency room could do only but so much. They have so much other emergencies that they have going on, and when you go in for abdominal pain, they tend to just do whatever they feel is needed at the time, opposed to, you know, all the stuff that your primary care or specialist can do for you. The specialist can actually send you to other places if needed. I'm sweating because it's so hot in my house. And you know, those other places can actually do the stuff that they need to do. So that's another thing that I should have been did, which is go to, rather than freaking, oh my God, going all those times back and forth to the hospital, letting them giving me pain medicine and just managing the pain with pain medicine, rather than taking care of the problem. And that's another thing, that's what I meant to say. Going to the emergency room, you're just like, it's like you're a freaking hamster or something, because they're just giving you different pain medicines to see what works and what could get you to shut up and go, opposed to getting to the core of the problem. So yeah, that's my take on my experiences with the emergency department. I even had like these people, I'm not going to say what hospital or whatever, but I had these people come up to me and they were like, oh, we're doing a study on stomach pain, and we actually starting this new medicine, and we want to give it to you to see how would you react. What? First of all, I'm not your lab rat, okay? I'm here. I don't know what the hell could be going on, what my health issue is, and you're going to come in here and ask me to take medicines that you doing studies on. Like, are you bugging? Are you paying me for this? And even if you are, you think like I'm here in a lot of pain that I can't even talk, I'm crying, throwing up, like you want to use me as a lab rat. Okay, sure. So that's another thing that made me feel like, yo, I need to stop coming here. I need to start, because I went to several different emergency rooms over the last year. It's not just one emergency room in particular. So yeah, and it's always the same shit, like, oh, we're gonna give you some pain medicine and send you home an antibiotic, and that's that. They will never tell you what they know what's going on. They'll say, oh, I think you probably have like a upper respiratory or a flu or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's very rare that they'll really take it to the point where they'll give you a CAT scan or stuff like that. A CAT scan. You know, well, yeah, CAT scan, because when you drink contrast, you could get a CAT scan, which is more of an intense scanning of your insides and your organs. Because with x-rays, they can't really see your organs too clear as they would, opposing to using drinking contrast and going in and, you know, looking deep into the organs. So yeah, I'm not a healthcare professional, but I have been in and out of the emergency room a lot lately, so I do know somewhat of what I'm talking about. So yeah, this is another thing that I got in one of my BoxyCharms, and it's a beautiful blush. Oh my god, it's so beautiful, and it's called Desert Rose. Adorable. I love this blush. I've been using it ever since I got it. You don't need to go heavy-handed with this, because this thing right here is very pigmented, like for real. I did my makeup in like dim lighting, kind of like now. I'm sorry about this lighting. And when I looked and stopped, when I went into good lighting, I've seen how much I put on. I'm like, oh my god, I look like a freaking Oompa Loompa. But yes. And also, what are y'all doing for back to school, you guys? Because for the mothers out there, shout out to us and the fathers that have to prepare our kids for school. That's another thing that I have to worry about is school. I'm looking for my bronzer, which I can't find, and oh, it's right here. So I'm gonna use the Wet n Wild contouring palette, and I use the brown for like bronzer. The other day, I came in and I was really sweaty. I was like cleaning up and stuff. My mother-in-law was like, "What the hell is that brown stuff on the side of your face?" I'm like, "Bronzer or contour." She's like, "I think it looks like muddy a little bit." So I might have went heavy-handed with this as well, because this normally looks really good on me. It looks good on pretty much anybody, honestly. And I'm not sure, don't quote me on this neither, but I believe they have different tones with the Wet n Wild. Because that's one thing about Wet n Wild, they really have good stuff. Like, you could always mix and match. So, I don't want to go heavy-handed with this neither. Because like I said the other day, it was like, whoa. And I looked in the mirror after she said, I was like, ooh, I look like a crazy person. And I was on a train and all of that with... But anyway, yeah. This is something else that I got in one of my BoxyCharms, and it's the Wonder Beauty mascara. I love the packaging, and I love this mascara. I like to put this on after my first or second, because I put 4 mascaras on, because each mascara does different things for me. I like length, value, and all of that. So I like to look like I'm wearing falsies without actually wearing. Sorry about that. I like to look like I'm wearing falsies without actually putting on falsies. So I tend to wear like 4 or 5 mascaras. So yeah. I got this a while ago, legit. Like probably 4 months, 5 months ago. And it still has a bunch of product. It's still very wet. It's like amazing. So I'm going to apply. This is the Rimmel London Shake It Fresh mascara, so I forgot to shake it. And it's clump free, for real, like legit. It separates your lashes. That's another thing. I like separation, but I also like that clumpy